water. Look at you. You're like a whole man.
It's not water in there.
I watched you fill it. Plus you had whiskey there.
All right, good evening. Welcome to the Litchfield Recreation Commission meeting tonight, November 26th. We will start with a call to order. I've got Secretary Judy Brennan.
Present.
Member Jeff Town.
Present.
Member Justin Brunel.
Present.
Member Mike Bosky.
Here.
Member Andy Ruggles.
Here.
Member Steve Weber.
Here.
And Selectman's Rep Steve Gannon.
Here.
Myself, Chris Burns, head chair. I am here. Absent or running late, I'm not sure, is Vice Chair Peter Ames. If he rolls in, we will happily welcome him. So now we'll move to the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Excuse me. All right. Now we have the approval of minutes. We have two meetings to go through. First one was October 10th. I believe we tabled that one at the last meeting. Can I get a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
I'll second.
Any discussion, changes, edits? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Abstain. I don't know if I was here or not that day.
I might need to do the math here, so what do we got, 3?
3.
All right, so 1.
Well, I don't think Justin and I can vote, so.
Yeah, okay.
So you got
you
1,
guys are
2,
up.
3, 4, 5.
All right, so,
You know I'm not gonna let you down with the math thing.
501.
there's 303, right?
1, 2, 3,
I
You
abstained.
abstained.
2, 4.
Judy,
I was, yes.
and you abstained, or you?
I did, I abstained.
So
Okay,
it's 3.
302. Look at that.
302.
Got the math
Okay.
going.
We
A little
got
help.
it. And,
Need my fingers?
Hands are up and
the next was from our last meeting, which was November 12th. You get a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All right, any adjustments, edits, comments, complaints? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Abstain.
So
3 abstains.
303.
303, thank you for the help.
Help 'em.
That head's on a swivel here.
Someone's got to figure out how last time was 302 and this time was 303.
That's what I was trying to figure out.
Whoever's taking the notes is gonna do a good job. All right, now we'll open up the floor for public input. We're out for the fireworks, so, yeah, we don't, we'll wait on that. With no members of the public here, we'll close public input. We'll go to the facility and field requests. Looks like we have one from soccer. Came in after this came in after the agenda was submitted, but soccer is looking to use Talent Hall from January 12th till April 6th on Sundays from 12 to 5 p.m. For practice.
I think it's already booked.
How does that affect baseball and softball?
Yeah, I think
Softball is done at 12.
How does it affect baseball?
Baseball hasn't said yet, but you had reserved it until what, 4 or 5?
No, we had some
Calendar?
downtime in the middle because we were doing the clinics, I think from 8 to 12, and then Blast is going in at, I think, 4. So, or maybe it's 5,
Yeah.
yeah.
is this a new soccer?
It is.
Yeah, so what they did prior years is there was a couple 2-hour, I think, opening between baseball, softball, then Blast. I think at that point it was like 2 to 4 was open, or 3 to 5 or something like that, and soccer jumped in during that time. But historically, baseball / softball had that whole entire time.
Might have to start carving it
Oh,
up.
the calendar get moved again?
No.
Pull up the calendar and see what we have in here already.
Yeah. You got it?
Hold on a minute.
Yeah. softball's in there 8 to noon, and then noon to 5 to 8. Looks like baseball's out.
Is there intent for baseball to do it?
Yeah.
How many hours, you think?
3.
So if you did noon to 3, you could give them 3 to 5.
We don't have a request in.
Going in history.
Understood.
I mean, it's been.
I don't know how that works.
No,
I mean-
And
I mean, we know that's coming even though it's
Yeah, I mean-
not here. Is there a way to divide up what's open in half at least between baseball and soccer?
There is, I'm
I mean, because
comfortable with that.
I can easily say for 9 years, baseball has been,
Yeah, we've been in there for 9 years.
Yeah, it makes it tough because it's first come, first serve or repetition. And that's why I was saying we might have to actually start carving it out into 2-hour blocks. So now, yeah, soccer, baseball, softball.
Yeah, I mean, guys, I'll say this, I don't have a dog in the fight anymore because I'm out of soccer. But we were on a first come, first serve, right? That's basically what it was.
We are, but they actually missed the submission date to be on our agenda for tonight.
Then we shouldn't have heard it.
So, but we had said,
We already brought it in now.
put it-
Again, so again, I'm gonna go back to consistency. 2 weeks ago, we brought something in that wasn't on the agenda. So if we're gonna start doing this, then we just have to blanket stop it. And again, I'm not anti-baseball, but if the baseball request isn't in, and it's open on the talent schedule, and someone's requesting it, what do you do?
well, we also have the issue of someone requesting 9 months in advance that we have also been like,
Right,
need to wait
because
a little bit,
tomorrow
so-
I would put in my request for next year. I'd just take it for the whole day and then give it back once we figured out when we're gonna
I don't
do
know,
it.
pickleball.
You know, like
puts-
that's,
Yeah, I mean,
another
but that's
thing.
what would happen.
Pickleball puts in, and when somebody else requests time that we're in there, we always ask them to give up some time.
Yeah.
Consistently, we do.
They're good.
And, I mean, rec is for adults and kids, so I don't think we should, if we're asking them to share, other people should be asked to share too. You know what I mean? That's another thing, we can't just keep saying, when pickleball has it reserved, oh, well, a sports team needs 2 hours that time or 3 hours, and we ask them to share, and they always willingly do.
Softball can,
But still, we have
softball
to,
can work with you too, so.
Again, this isn't anything that's like, there have to be rules, right?
Right.
Make the rules, like, you can't request time more than so many months ahead. You can't do this, you can't do that. If we say first come, first serve, then we have to mean first come, first
I
serve.
had brought up, though, that quarterly or every 3 months, we set a date where all winter requests are due, all fall, and then it was felt we didn't need that anymore, maybe it was still too soon after COVID, but then you're looking at it's a longer meeting, but you're looking at a whole,
It's a new request. I didn't,
Yeah.
as baseball representative, I didn't know that soccer was gonna request, the other
right, because it's
5
not,
hour or whatever. So I didn't feel the urgency of getting it requested.
So maybe we need to have a conversation with soccer to see if they actually need, if they have all 5 hours booked, if they will use them, or if there's other hours that they'll be giving back and they're just trying to get their schedule in order first.
Yeah.
I can figure that out. And then,
Is softball using the full 4 hours in the morning?
in the morning, yeah. From, I think it's from actually 9 to 12.
Okay.
and they used to do joint for the little kids, and then there was just one more block, I think, that the rookies used.
Yeah, I gotta talk to the board, the baseball board, and see if we're even doing it.
So our young league, our instructional league is the first one to go in the morning.
Got it.
So,
And you're doing that solo this year?
yeah, that was the plan. I
Okay.
mean, we can.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
Okay, for this current, application, I mean, we've had some discussion, we don't have a motion yet. I guess.
so we need to make a
We can
motion
make a
first.
motion first and figure it out then. Anybody want to make a motion to approve it?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
I'll second.
So, I mean, we can, like I said, we can make it pending that they give us the actual schedules that they're in there.
Yeah, I don't
Here's
think
the full
I have any grounds for not approving it. You know, it's a legitimate request. It came in before baseballs, and it's just, we'll have to live with it. And if they have some time they can give up, then great. If not, then we're out of luck.
Okay.
It's my fault for not getting it in sooner.
All right, any other discussion?
Yeah, I do believe, I agree with Mike, going forward, we need to start taking a hard, fast rule that if it is not in before the agenda, it is not added to the agenda afterwards.
And I did send an email to everybody who uses Talent saying I have to have the agenda in by Friday, Thursday if Monday's a holiday. So requests should be in by Wednesday
Right,
before
but
our
in this
meeting.
situation, it
So-
came in afterwards, and you wrote it in, it's not going on the agenda.
So,
Going
no, it's
forward,
not
I-
on the agenda, but, we have been
Allowing it, yeah, we have it.
And it's the same thing with the 9 months out, just push back and say, no, you have to come.
Yeah.
Right, I mean, it's honestly, it's just figure out the rules. What are the rules gonna be, right? It's gonna be, figure out the rules, come in, right? Because, again, like,
The man-
Runners Club was in, right, the Runner Series was already in 3 weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, right? Approved them for the spring already, like, is that too early for the spring? What is our
But we don't-
guideline?
we
What do
need
we
Go
to-
do?
back, if we go back 6 years, let's say, or 5 years, whatever it was, there were certain dates which say,
Correct, it was, yeah.
this is the date we look at fall, this is the date we
Yeah.
look at
Yep.
winter,
That's
this
what
is the date
we
we
had-
did.
yeah.
So nobody can come in and just go carte blanche, I want
Right.
everything, right?
Exactly,
There was
and
a
that-
certain
yeah.
time, because I remember the first time I ever put anything in for baseball, Andy Collins came back and said, you're 2 months too soon.
Yeah,
Because he was the chair at the time, and he basically said, bam, this is when we started viewing it.
Yeah.
Put it back in at this date, and we'll
Windows
look
op-
at
The
it.
window opens up here.
yeah, it was, I mean, before it was a lot more, it's busy as it is now, it was busy then, right? Town Hall especially, like, it was, you were fighting over, because lacrosse was in there at times, soccer was in there more than they are now, baseball, softball, basketball, pickleball, everyone was in there, everyone a piece, there was like volleyball even at that time. So Andy did the quarterly meetings, right, and it was about, hey, everyone got together and it was like, hey, you know, okay, you guys both want these hours.
Yeah.
Let's figure it out. Let's figure it out now and just before we go. And that's the way it was. And it was quarterly because, again,
Yeah.
that's the way the season's run. So, do you go back to that? That's fine. It's just one of those things we have to enforce, or, you know, and hey, you coming in, because again, we've had it in the past. We've seen it a few years ago. It was like, you know, someone came in, it was like 9 months before requesting. It's like, okay, 9 months? No one's thinking 9 months ahead.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
I also think maybe we should do too is, like, block it off 2-hour increments, 7 to 9, 9 to
Yeah.
11, 11 to. you know.
Because, I mean, I'd hate baseball to lose their clinics, because that's what actually has drove the registration, everything coming through. I mean,
Yeah.
back before it started, we were down to 60, 70 kids. I mean, 50, it was low, and now we're at, what, 127, 128 last year? Somewhere up there. And I think a lot of that comes, especially at the younger ages, is because of the clinics.
I can put it on the January agenda and we can decide all those things and when we want them due, and that's a hard deadline. Do we want quarterly? Do you want a representative from each group to come in so that you're not like, you know, oh, well, they requested 6 hours, so we need to talk with them and see if that works. If I put on the January agenda, then we can
Yeah. Start in
sort
the
that out, and
In the meantime, Jeff, is it possible to add verbiage to the application?
it's gonna be
stating
12
that it's
pages
not-
now.
What do we want to say?
Yeah, stating that if it's not in, you know, before the agenda's due, it's gonna be pushed back to the following meeting.
So always do the Wednesday before.
all, yeah,
I don't think there's a due date
all
on it.
requests to do the, before the,
So we meet on the second, fourth
Yeah.
Tuesday,
The
so
Wednesday
they're
before the meeting.
yeah, I'm
Wednesday
like, I'm
before
trying
the
to figure that out, I'm
meeting.
like, it doesn't really work, right? Because there can be,
Right. But
Yeah, no.
we need to look at that application. Do we really need 10 or 11 pages?
It's 5 pages.
Oh, I thought someone
not
had
10
said
or
it was
11.
10 or 11.
But it's, the font's this big.
Yeah. We can't read it. So, do you want me to put that on January
Yes, please.
agenda?
Sure.
All right, well, I have a motion, I have a second. Any other conversation about this application? And all those in favor?
I-
Opposed? Abstained? 1, 2, 3. Were you in?
Aye.
You were in? All right, it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 6-1-0, right? We're getting there. All right, passes 6-1-0. Next, we've got old business, Talent Hall, the floor inspection, that is scheduled, I think it was for the, 10th? Let me look up and see what date that was. Scheduled for the 10th. So I'm planning on meeting the contractor down there, letting them in, showing them the lay of the land.
December 10th?
So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully everything he finds is good, and
Do we need to cancel anything in there?
I've already let pickleball know, so
Okay.
they're all set.
Poor guy, you know, underneath the floor as the pickleballers are going around.
It'll be, it's up to a few hours to maybe,
Just let me in the hatch.
the full day, but I know basketball's in there. It shouldn't affect their time.
Okay.
They should be out of there by then. So that should be fine. Fall projects, updates, estimates, sawmill, pump.
Yeah, I got an estimate for that. Ryan said it would be $7,000 to $18,000.
17 to 18,000. Okay.
All in. It upgrades it to a 5 horsepower pump. Currently, the pump that's in it's a 3.5. It puts out 35 gallons a minute estimated. This would up capacity to 50 gallons per minute, or just under 50, and would allow for shorter watering duration, he said. So pump wouldn't have to run as much, keeping its longevity. The urinal and heat unit cover, I haven't had a chance to get quotes on it. I've been
So I
Straight
actually, for the heating cover, I found something online that I pulled up. One of those metal covers for, like a carport type thing. It was under $1,000. It looked like a pretty
nice.
sturdy one. 10 feet by 15 feet. Looks like it can anchor down to the ground.
Under 1,000?
It was under
All the ones I
1,000.
was looking at were like 2 to 3.
No, this,
install.
this is running slow.
How thin is the metal?
Yeah.
This was $804.
And yours were
On sale,
2 to 3,
$255
but was it
off.
made of something different?
It's 1.5 millimeter steel frame, 2x2 tubes, heavy duty cardboard coating, features rust resistant paint. Yeah, I mean, it looked 29 gauge thickness, looked pretty,
Did it have any kind of warranty?
well, it might from the manufacturer
Yeah.
itself, but I mean, we'd have to put it together and build it. But I can share this around.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Looked pretty decent out of the ones that I found from Home Depot. Looked like one of the nicer ones. Nothing on the shed roof yet. Nobody's looked at that.
I haven't had a
No.
chance.
Okay.
Could you send me the guys that contact for the person you used to do the sawmill thing?
The pavilion?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can send you his contact.
I'll reach out to iRoof also.
Okay. Great.
Steve, to do warrant articles, we need written quotes, right?
Written quotes.
Yeah, do we need written, like actual quotes?
If we wanted to encumber funds, you
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
To encumber.
Wait, encumber or do a warrant article?
So to encumber, you want to have the ball in action, so a quote or something that would be best. For a warrant article, no, you don't need quotes.
So to encumber, do we need a contract or just the quote is
It's
fine?
best to, you have to have,
committed.
the money earmarked for something.
Right.
And if you have.
But let's
you
say
know,
we
It'd be
have
best to
money
have a
for
quote
the
and
urinal
approved
and
quote.
somebody can't do it until January 10th.
That's fine. As
So the
long
best
as-
would have a quote and all of us to say, yes, we
Yes.
approve that quote, right?
Yeah.
Because now
Okay.
you're bringing it forth saying we want to go and encumber it for this reason.
Yeah, yeah.
And we can show minutes saying that.
Yeah, and it's earmarked for that exact reason, not like, well, we'd like to, that
Right.
typically
No.
doesn't happen.
But like we could have the funds and want to do it, but somebody might not be able to replace the
Yeah, yeah,
urinal
that's
till
perfectly fine.
into the next year. Okay.
So is the heat pump a warrant article for next year, or not the heat pump, the sawmill pump?
For $15,000-$18,000.
Oh, we have the money.
Nothing left in
Not in our
this year.
budget.
left.
Yeah.
We have about 12,000, I think, left in our budget total. There's some other stuff coming out of there too for the, there's a propane delivery the other day. I haven't picked up that.
I'm
bill yet.
talking about the warrant article to raise and appropriate for field
No, I'm just
maintenance.
talking about budget.
But I'm saying, so we do have money for it.
Not that much. We've already allocated
No.
15,000
For what?
for the, security cameras last week.
Last
So
time, yeah.
Up to
Okay.
15,000.
Up to 15, yeah. So we have, what, 10 left?
There'd be 10, yeah, there'd be 10 left.
We need 18.
So between the
I think
10
we
and
need-
what's left in the budget,
urinal needs to be done.
Yeah.
too.
do we do that for
That's
the
minimal,
pump?
but I think that's.
24 left, or is there 10 left?
There's 10 left.
10 left.
That might.
But between that,
10-ish, depending on.
Yeah, yeah.
what-
between that and the budget, do we combine the two to take care of Sawmill?
What about I think the urinal definitely needs to, we had last meeting, we said that the urinal
Yeah.
needs to be taken care
So
of,
if
but
we
that's
look at
not
the
gonna
three
be.
as a whole, I'm just trying to say, what can we do? If we look at the three of the whole, what are we in for?
For the
The 3,
pump?
If we take care of the pump,
The urinal.
so, I mean, I'm just guessing the urinal's probably gonna be somewhere around $2,500,
mm-hmm.
I guess, to replace. I have no idea on the shed roof.
I mean, how much could a shed roof be? $5,000 at the most?
No
I
way.
mean, not even that, right?
No, not
2,500?
even that.
I'm just like going the high side of
Is
it.
there a hole in it, or it just needs to be rebuilt?
No, we had
was a
talked
hole
about
at one time.
replacing the
Was
whole
that
shed,
patched?
but the walls and building part are fine, it's the roof.
At one
that's
point, there was a
starting
hole in the roof,
Yeah.
I know
There
that for
still
a
is.
fact.
Yeah.
So the roof needs to have the plywood
So you need a
stripped
piece
off,
of-
new plywood, and then.
Yeah, so you need new sheathing in the roof, I mean,
Yeah.
We
But it's a
patched
small
up the
shed.
hole in the roof, about 2 years ago. I don't know if it's leaking again.
So you put a piece of wood on it?
Yeah.
Well, of these things, what can wait?
well, I'm just thinking, what's left, can we take care of all three?
Like, what's in next year's budget? And then what's in,
Next year's budget is $8,000 less than
Less.
this
I
year.
know,
Yeah, I
but
mean,
what I'm
that's my
saying
fear,
is,
it's like-
if there's a little bit
Right,
for
next-
one of them,
Right.
now you're taking one of them out, and what can you do with the rest of it?
So my thing is, I think we have to go back to the warrant article to replenish
Yeah.
what we've used. And if there's a good reason, Sawmill's a good reason, to expend all those funds, right? Now we can go to the voters and say, we did X, Y, and Z with those funds for field maintenance. We want to replenish. And then if we feel that we need to up that even more because of what's going on, we come with a second warrant article saying we now want to raise and appropriate that fund from $20,000 or whatever it is, up to
I think it was 25.
25, up to
To 30.
50 or 30 or whatever we think the number is, right? But right now, we can go back and show that we needed to use those monies in order to take care of these systems. I mean, we have old failing systems. I mean, as a town,
Yeah.
we've used baling wire and duct tape to keep everything up and running. I mean, we have a reason for it. And it's not like we're just off peeing it away for no reason. I mean, these are things that people use every single day that we need to keep up and running for the community.
And we have to keep prioritizing what should be fixed first.
Correct. Because we have so many things
So
that are
then things
breaking
get-
down. I mean,
yeah.
a urinal breaking, that urinal's been breaking down for
9 months.
We've tried to
5
fix,
years is what I was gonna say. I mean,
tried to fix it
I-
ourselves several
I
times.
think there's several of us here who have replaced the valves. in
Just
that
like the
urinal.
rest of the building.
So, I mean, I
Well,
think
that
if
cinder
we,
block's not gonna fall.
so I mean, I think we really need to look at, what do we have left from the warrant article? What do we have left from our budget? And let's wisely use that monies in
Yeah.
order to take care of things we need to take care of.
And then ask to replenish.
And then replenish. I mean, we have to replenish. And if we feel we need to expand, let's go and expand at that point. But at least, I mean, we have to go take care of what it is, and, you know, if we can somehow get the urinal fixed and take care of Sawmill, we should go do it.
I don't know if we can do sawmill this year, can we?
Well, if we have 10 left from the warrant article, and we have how much left from the budget?
About 12.
So we have 22,000 to play with, if we're saying it's 15 at the worst case scenario, right?
No, he said 17 to 18.
Okay, so we have 18. So we get another 2,500 for the shed. If we say 2,500 at the worst case for the urinal, we're now covered. And we take care of the things that are hanging out there right now.
And wait till next year to cover the heating unit?
This is, I mean, if it's under 1,000.
Yeah, it's 800, you
That
said?
could slide something.
That could slide too, it really comes down to
I
what it
mean,
is,
we
but I
can't
think,
keep pushing things off and
We
pushing
can't.
them off, because it's just getting beyond what we can repair ourselves.
I mean, Darrow was bad enough that we had to increase the whole well, right? If we're seeing the same issues as Sawmill, let's go do it.
Is that his plan, is to basically rejig? I mean, to me, it sounds like a lot of money.
He said it's a new pump, the new motor.
And a
the-
VFD.
A new VFD.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a variable speed thing.
Drive, so you need
and
it,
It's
you need
like
the whole
basically
thing.
all new plumbing, all new check valves, all that stuff. and it's all
Because your
installed.
pressure's now gonna go up because of
Yeah.
it, so you have to take care of it all.
Gotcha, so it's not just a pump, it's a.
Not just.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
It's not
the
like he's
whole
just
lake
swapping
system.
out to pump out, yeah.
But I think if we can do it, we should go do it
Mhm.
and take care of everything.
And that well can handle
Yeah,
withdrawal?
So I would agree. So what's the process to get all that approved? I mean, we need the well quote, right? A written
Yep.
quote in order to go to the Board of Selectmen.
We need the, yeah,
Well, we can approve up to a certain value.
Yep.
Right, and that makes it easier for when it goes to the selectmen, that if we say up to $18,000 and it comes in at 15, rec has already approved it, makes it easier for the
It comes
selectmen.
out of the.
If we say $2,500 to fix a urinal, right, it comes in at $900, whatever
Yeah.
the value is, we can go do it.
Yeah, the urinal, you don't have to come before the board, right? Because it's.
Well, it's gonna be under
No,
the
if it's
value,
under
but
that.
I think we
But
should
it's-
still make a
Yeah.
motion up to a certain value to go fix it.
Yep.
And the same with the shed,
Yep.
right? And then we have them all on docket, because I think this is our last meeting right before the end of the year.
One more.
Yeah, I
We
think
have one more,
January,
but,
December. Yeah.
yeah, so we should at least try to get everything we can right now approved,
And I agree that would help support the warrant articles for next year.
without a doubt, yeah.
So, I mean, I'll entertain some motions to get this stuff going. If we want to entertain up to 18,000 for the well pump to come out of both the remaining budget and the, what's that fund? What's that called?
I looked it up last time.
The-
Dip on mattress fund.
Something trust,
It's a trust for repair and maintenance.
yeah.
Recreation, repair and maintenance.
So we have to have quotes for each actual estimate.
But I think here we can say we'll approve up to a certain
Up to a
amount.
certain
I think
amount.
we expend
Okay.
everything we have left. My opinion would be expend everything we have left
I would agree.
in the warrant article, right? And then use our budget for the rest of the stuff.
I agree. So if we know we have, what, 10 left in that, right, we can take 10,000, put it towards the well pump, and then the rest out of our
Out of the
remaining
budget.
budget.
8,000.
Now, anything else in the budget? Do we have to worry about propane or anything else for
We
the
just got a
remainder of the year?
propane delivery this week.
We have
So-
one more before the end of the year.
Do we have water and electricity?
Water bill, electricity bill, I'm just trying to think so we
Yeah.
can be good stewards of the money on where we're gonna be at.
I assume all the porta potties have been paid for already?
Yes, they've been picked up.
Yep, picked up.
Have we
The new
paid
ones have been-
all the bills for field maintenance this year? Because those are quarterly billed or monthly billed. So I think before we,
Typically, yeah.
expend too far, we really need to see what's still hanging out there, maybe talk to Ms. White and find out.
I mean, looking at the budget, like those ongoing expenses, maybe 1,000, right, between electricity, water.
How's field maintenance line looking?
And that was paid off, right?
Is it paid off? I didn't see it.
Yeah, field maintenance is paid off.
It's the last bill.
That's good, okay.
Yeah, so I think it'd be good to leave 1,000 as a cushion for all
Mhm.
those.
Yeah,
for all
just
these,
in case.
Normal expenses, but no big ticket items, I don't think, remaining.
Still got the rec revolving account too, that has $28,000.
Yeah. Some of that is spare to Litchfield that they raise and reinvest.
But we could talk with Karen to find out how much is allocated.
Where?
Cause that's
28,000?
28,367.20.
Well, pickleball gave us 3,000 this year, and I think it went into the revolving fund.
And they've given us, in the past,
Yes.
money that we have not used
Yeah,
thus far
and I think it's all
either.
gone in the revolving
I
fund.
mean, they've gotta be up to $9,000 that we haven't used. They've done the floor a couple
So do we
times.
so should we table this until the next meeting when we have specific
that very
funds?
I think we should try to take
Specific
care of
estimates and
some of the things that we can go take care of.
Well, we know enough about the pump, the whole system at Sawmill, right?
Why don't we?
I think in the 17 to 18, he said he's gonna get an official quote, but it's kind of a worst case scenario. Like, he thinks it'll be less, but
He's always been great at working with
Yeah.
us
Yeah.
and keeping within it.
What, can we deal with that tonight and send it to the selectmen as soon as we get the quote? So we don't have to wait for another meeting cycle?
all right, I'll make a motion
Next week at least. after.
to approve up to $18,000 for use of, to repair the pump at Sawmill, replace it.
Seconded.
Any other discussion?
It's the
So we do have
Recreation
to state
Expandable
where
Trust
it's-
Fund.
We have to state where the money's going to come.
$18,000 from the recreational expendable
Have
trust.
18,000.
10 from it and the rest from the
Oh,
budget.
10,000 from that.
10 from the
The rest from our
recreational
budget.
Two
trust.
separate motions?
No,
No, you're just gonna say how you wanna pay for it.
State where it's
Okay.
coming from.
Up to 10 grand. and
Up to $10,000 from the recreational expendable trust fund, and then $8,000 from remaining budget, for use of replacement of the pump at Sawmill.
You gonna second that again?
Yep.
Okay. All right, any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Abstain.
2, 4, 6,
Get another bite of that.
Abstain.
6-0-1. Passes 6-0-1. When is the next, board meeting?
We just had one last night, so it'll be 2 weeks.
2 weeks? So I can,
December 10th, I think it is. Oh, not, board, that's our meeting, sorry.
Yeah, December 9th.
December 9th. I can plan on attending that to, discuss.
Yeah, and then between that time, let's talk with Karen to find out what's in the rec revolving, how it's allocated, and then you might be able to pull some money from there too.
Okay.
Do we want to address the other two?
There's 3. So
What are the other-
heating unit cover, the urinal, and the shed roof. So we can address the other 3 while we're here.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve up to $1,000 to replace the plumbing for the urinal, at, Town Hall, from the remaining rec budget.
Is that enough?
I would hope so
Just
for the
the
plumbing.
I have no idea.
I mean, the urinal itself is fine, it's just a.
Is the revolving fund part of the budget, or no?
No.
So I half wonder, like, you mean, you're saying pickleball, like, pickleball's giving us stuff to improve talent, right? So,
They were very explicit on the
Okay.
first couple they did on what it had to be used for. Like,
Okay.
there's one of them that is for the floor, it has to be used for the
Right.
floor.
Mhm.
And they learned after the fact that if you say very explicit what you want it for,
Correct.
it has to be for
Right.
that. So I think there's been other monies since then that
Last
have
year's
been
was for however we
for
saw.
town hall
fit.
or for recreation commission. They were very vague, but we'd have to go back and get with Karen on
I
what-
know last year's was however we wanted to
Was
use
it
it. They were
Correct, that was
open.
what, $3,000, I think, last year?
Yeah, so
for-
we could have.
I mean, and plus, there's other monies in the revolving fund from even before that, right? Like, there's stuff
There's
that's
money
out
from the
there.
revolving fund that was tied back into comedy shows.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
That
let
affects the plumbing.
me put it this way, I would say $1,500, if we were looking to find a way to use monies, it would be safe to say that we could probably put that under revolving fund monies, because it's not a big number, so I'm sure the money's there, plus there's money in there for talent. In some way, shape, or form, there's money in there
I'm just thinking with, based on what we know this evening, let's take care of what we can take care of, right? And all of a
Right.
sudden, the $28,000 we have, right, we can do other things, let's look at it next year. Maybe it's the cover for the heat.
I know for sure the urinal can come out of revolving funds, just with what pickleball gave us this year
All right,
to
so
use at
maybe
our
we wanna
discretion,
do, maybe we
so.
wanna do that then, right? Use the
Because
revolving
I
fund
think
for
we want to
that.
get that fixed as soon as
I
possible,
would agree.
so.
Yeah.
Andy made a motion for 1,000,
Yeah, I don't know if there was a second or not.
and it would
But you
come
made it
out
out
of
of
the
the budget,
revolving
just-
fund.
Yeah.
Amended
probably
to,
wanna-
it's out of the revolving
Okay,
fund.
I'll amend
You want
the,
to add a couple of bucks in there too.
okay, I will amend my motion to approve up to $1,500 for use, well, out of the revolving fund, for use to fix the urinal at Town Hall.
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained,
Abstained.
601.
It's like he's a ghost.
Do you want to do?
So when the used slide price comes in, that could potentially come maybe out of that too,
The what?
when we're waiting for a used
A used
slide,
slide?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk to Karen White. She keeps track of what's in the rec revolving and how it's broken down.
Excuse me. Do we want to cover the roof at all right now?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to,
Yeah, because we want to do that
Put that
before
as
we
well?
start getting bad weather. It's been recommended by the heating company.
yeah, I'll make a motion to approve up to $2,000 out of the revolving fund for use to repair the shed roof at Town Hall.
Do we want to use the budget
If we don't,
for that?
Have we used the rest of the budget yet?
so
No, we haven't.
No.
why don't you do yourself a favor and say, if there's not in the revolving, to use it out of the budget.
If it's not in the revolving fund, I'd like to use it out of the budget.
Would it be the other way around, use it?
Yeah.
Yeah, use
If
it out
it's
of the
not in the
Just budget.
budget,
If it's not in the budget, I'd like to use it out of the revolving fund.
can you say that again?
He's done for the night now.
Yeah.
Up to 2K out of the budget, and if we run out of the budget,
Revolving fund.
fund. I'll second that.
Right, any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Who's gonna chase a
Opposed,
quote for that?
abstained?
I think he said he's doing iRoof. He's
601.
gonna check iRoof.
He's gonna
and
check somebody else who
He's gonna check who, the person. that
Okay, I
did
can
the
send you
building.
Mason's contact. Too. All right, that should cover it for the fall projects. So we will move on to new business.
Wait, did we do heating? The cover over the heating?
We,
No, we
we didn't yet. I thought we said save that until
Next meeting?
next meeting.
Okay. So I'll put that on December.
Yep.
Yeah.
During the account.
So new business, we've got fireworks for Winterfest, the tree lighting.
Janice Paris, 19 Woodhawk Way from Spear to Litchfield. So, Chris, I believe you have the contract. It was sent to Kim Kleiner for approval and signature, but she noticed that there were some cancellation fees in one of the sections. I believe the contract last year also had this, but Andy McClavey, who does the fireworks for us and works for this company, said, don't worry about it. The company, it's a standard contract, they won't take it out. It's 10%, it's $300. But he said, you won't be paying anything.
Yeah.
I believe we ran into the same thing last year.
Yeah.
And if the event gets canceled, it's just gonna be put towards,
Andy
Another
did tell
event.
me he had a way of storing the fight, because I said, if you've already purchased everything, we don't have a way to store it. And he said he did,
Keep it at Gannon's house.
so.
So we're,
Shed.
Is it before the
so
10th?
fire department says it's a no-go. The fireworks will be stored
Yes,
and will, for another event. They'll do it for
right.
another event.
I feel like we had the same discussion last year.
So, 100% as of right before the meeting, 100% of the funds have been raised over the last 24 hours.
excellent.
But they're not all in hand. Some have to be picked up for some businesses.
Correct.
So my thought is to maybe, request some money out
Yeah.
of your,
Out of Spirit of Litchfield, the
yeah,
revolving
just in
fund.
case something falls through or you need the money, and then that donation can be put.
Well, all the
in
money will
just
probably
need-
go into rec revolving, and then that money will pay for the fireworks. So everything has to go through the town coffer.
Right,
So any money collected will
Correct.
go to the rec revolving, and then a check will be written from the town to Ann from that fund.
right, to pay the contract.
Okay,
That's how Jason said it was done.
Yeah.
So it'll
Okay, so
funnel into there.
it'll
and then
funnel
all the money
into
will
there.
Come from the rec revolving.
right,
Right.
and if you,
Fund anyways.
so what I'm saying is just in case a couple donations don't
Right,
come
so
through,
I think we talked about $250.
maybe if you, yeah, approve 250 out of the
Out of
Spirit of
the
Litchfield rec
Spirit of
revolving.
Litchfield, we have a balance of, I think after the fall event, it was $4,600.
Well, no, don't we approve the entire amount and then
Yes.
accept the donation after?
Yes.
The money cannot come from a private citizen. It has to
Right.
go through the town
Yeah.
as a donation.
Correct.
But we're just saying,
We have to
if
accept it, and the
that,
Board of Selectmen have
As a
to accept it.
donation, and then
Right.
the.
so, but just in case a couple of those don't come through, we don't want,
Right.
I mean, the event.
We probably
before
won't
our
have
next
to
Well, you're
meeting.
missing the point, Judy. It's all going into the same account.
Right.
So
right.
you don't have to
We
say now.
approve
we're
the
gonna-
total
No, but-
value of the
But
contract.
Spirit of Litchfield does have their own line in the
Correct.
revolving,
Yes.
yes. And so she
Okay,
was saying it
Spirit of
would come
Rec revolving
from
Spirit of
there,
Litchfield.
yeah.
Right,
It's not the Rex account, it's the Spirit of Litchfield.
exactly.
So when
yeah.
this money comes in.
Yeah.
It also has to say rec revolving,
Yeah.
specifically Spirit
Spirit
of
of
Litchfield,
Litchfield.
and then it'll go
Right.
back into that bucket.
Yeah, but they need to, they need permission from us in order to spend,
Yes.
if they need $200.
No, you're gonna spend it all.
We spend it all. We just
Total
say
amount.
up $3,000,
Don't worry about
whatever the
Okay.
contract is, right? We approve
Yeah.
that.
All right,
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
So if for some, okay, because that would be part of the 3,000,
Yes,
right?
yes,
I get it.
yeah, so right now, if you have $2,000 in.
Right.
Your account, we're gonna put $3,000 into it, so you'll have 5,000.
Right,
So you're gonna spend 3,000 for the fireworks
Mm-hmm.
from the Spirit of Litchfield rec revolving Spirit of Litchfield account. So that's how the money will transfer out. So don't worry about the,
Okay.
is it 250, what are we gonna do? It's, all the money's gonna go
Mm-hmm.
in, 3,000 is gonna come out.
okay. So Kim is just looking for you, Chris, or the rec committee to say, it's fine the way it's written, you can sign it.
Yep, so we need to approve the fireworks, we need to approve the amount as well.
Yeah,
Yep.
yes.
So I'll hear a motion to approve up to $3,000.
No, the contract is for 3,000?
Yes, I have the contract here in front of me, it's
And you
3,000.
said you had like 4,600 in there or whatever?
Spirit of Litchfield has 4,600 in
Because
there.
I also didn't wanna get caught up where you say, oh, there's only 1,500, but we're gonna approve 3,000, that could.
Yeah.
But,
We're good now.
Yeah.
yeah, it washes. It
But
will-
Jason will be bringing the money tomorrow
Yeah.
to get deposited.
So it all works out.
So I'll hear a motion to accept the $3,000 for the contract for the fireworks and approve the fireworks
In the contract as written.
contract, yeah.
So moved.
Any other discussion?
Oh, thank you to everybody who donated.
Yeah.
And I know
Definitely.
Chick Farms put out an email to everybody, the
The
businesses
businesses, yeah.
who usually support the beautification calendar, asking if they would join him in donating $100, and
Yeah, no calendar
those-
this year, huh?
No,
no, we took the year off.
Santa needs a rest.
I don't
Yeah.
blame
Year
you.
without
I don't
So
blame
thank you
Santa
to all
Claus.
those businesses who
Yeah.
supported and made it happen and the families, in less than 24 hours, it's pretty impressive.
Absolutely.
It was very impressive, and even people that I had several people come to my house because they wanted to give cash, and that I should have brought tonight to give to you, but I forgot, so I will have to get that to you tomorrow. But they took time out of their day to, drive to my house to drop it off. So, it was pretty cool.
Well, it was impressive last year. Those fireworks were,
Andy did
Yeah.
a great job.
It was better than,
Yeah.
most 4th of July ones
Yeah.
you go and say.
Yeah, it was. Very
Andy did a
much
great
so.
job in
and we've
those.
had a lot of rain, so.
All right,
And it was a
so-
beautiful night for him.
Oh, it's pending. We know it's pending.
Yeah, it's still
Pending
pending
approval by the
on
fire.
Doug's.
Fire and fire.
He already has all the permits. I
Okay.
think, well, he's still working on the state permit, but he has the permit signed by Doug. He got today, but it's still contingent. Kim
Making the
asked
final
Doug
decision.
to write a letter that said, you know, they won't be set off unless I approve it. So, and that's the day before.
As a reminder, the Board of Selectmen has already approved it pending the recreation approval as well,
Yep.
so. All right, so I have a motion, I have a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
I,
I will approve this one because I abstained at the Board of Selectmen.
just in case we needed you here.
Opposed, abstained? What do we got? 2, 4, 6, 7? 7?
We haven't-
7, 0, 0.
It's like your family you see once a year.
I feel like I'm at Thanksgiving dinner. All right, so that takes care of that. There was something else for,
Yes,
The Spirit of Litchfield,
I
too, right?
actually, I think I sent it to you, Chris,
Yeah.
a request for you and Judy for $800 to use for the Christmas in Litchfield event. I don't think we're gonna need 800, but I threw some money in there for contingencies.
would that be part of the?
That would come out of
Spirit
our
of
money,
Litchfield
yes,
account as well? Okay.
yes.
Spirit of Litchfield, rec revolving Spirit of Litchfield account.
All right, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to, for Spirit of Litchfield to, what is it, withdraw?
Well,
Or
I don't know, how did you word it
Appropriate.
last year, Peter?
appropriate 800,
Expend up to,
expend up to
Spend up to
$800,
Yeah,
towards the tree lighting events. Out of the, out of the revolving fund, Spirit of Litchfield lines of the revolving funds.
Second?
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
I
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 7, 0, 0.
thank you for all your work.
Okay.
I know there's very few of you doing a whole lot of work to make
Yeah.
this happen for the
yeah,
town.
we're still working on getting some volunteers, but,
well, thank you for all your efforts. You guys do a great job.
yeah, it's a lot of fun, I enjoy it.
Actually, Janice, but before you leave, I got some
Yes.
reimbursements here too.
Oh,
Judy?
yes, that was for the fall event.
Reimbursements in here for,
Yeah, it's listed Spirit of Litchfield Fall Fest, I guess, something, there was some kind of breakdown along the line and you never got
I
it?
had sent it to Peter a while ago, right after the event, and I'm not sure what happened, but we never got our checks, so.
I forwarded the names and addresses to, I forwarded the breakdown to Karen, so I told her we'd be voting on it tonight.
Okay.
So that when it does go through, she knows how much for each person and
She
the
has the
and the
receipts already.
addresses.
I
She
sent her
has the
Why
receipts.
let us have
Okay.
a slide?
Yes.
That's what I was wondering. That's crazy.
Because, I mean, they've been like, no for bounce houses, for everything. I was sitting there looking at them, like, I was shocked that they approved that we could have a slide.
Yeah,
Good, right, that was the whole thing, yep.
Yeah.
was this already approved, these funds?
we had approved it, they were asking for
asking for
reimbursement,
reimbursement.
and
Right.
I guess, I didn't look back, I don't know which month
I
to
think
see
we
if we.
approved
I
it,
think
like,
you
I-
approved 500.
Right, so it was
but
underneath that.
This only
so-
comes to like 300 and
330.
something.
It's 330.
So, we should just revote to
Yeah.
cover it so that they can get paid, because it's been a while.
Appreciate it.
And she has their names and addresses already to make it
Yeah,
easy.
she has that email along with all the copy of all the receipts.
I'll make a motion to approve up to, not up to, $330.20 out of the revolving fund to pay Christine Wilson, Tara Boutillier, and Janice Paris, for their
Fall Fest.
Fall Fest expenditures.
Spirit of Litchfield.
Spirit of Litchfield.
I'll
Just
second.
says a revolving fund on here, Steve.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 7, 0, 0. Thanks, Janice.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, I don't know what
Good
happened
luck with your
with that.
event.
Thanks,
Hopefully
take
the
care.
weather's good. Right, next, we have a reimbursement for
Oh, we
Judy
skipped
Brennan.
metal signs
Oh, sorry,
with the QR codes.
QR codes, okay.
Jeff actually came up, found some place with the cheapest
Like $6.
prices that you sent.
Yeah.
We had talked about, I had to keep laminating signs
Yeah.
that just blew away with the QR codes on it. So, I know you sent it to us, I don't remember how much it was per,
I don't remember exactly either, but I'm just looking it up because I've forgotten. They were about $6 a piece.
How many were we looking at?
I'd say get 10 of them,
There's
and
like,
then when they disappear, we can replace them.
I think like,
That's the right price point.
That's a good-
yeah, and I think like, the one we would use for Parker Park has a different QR code that goes to both us and conservation.
Oh, really?
And the same thing with the river access. If you want to pursue that, I can send you the correct QR codes.
Oh, okay. Obviously, I'll have to figure out if we can do mixed things within, but yeah,
Yeah.
we'll figure it out. Yeah, it's not a problem. If you want to send me the codes.
I can send you,
Should
I'll
we-
have Jason send them, cause
Should we
he,
make a motion to approve up to, say, $100?
yeah. let's do it.
Is there shipping, there might be shipping included or anything?
I don't think
Just in
so,
case
but
there's a
there might
charge
be.
for two different,
No, there wouldn't be.
we can send you what it says right on, like what it says above it too, if you want to use what's already kind of
Yeah,
already made up.
yeah.
All right, so here a motion to approve those signs.
I will make a motion to approve up to $100 for metal signs with our QR code for property, maintenance out of
Remaining budget.
the remaining budget.
How many signs?
10.
The 12 Port has it
Do we want
on their
to
signs.
put 10 in
so-
there? Do we want to put up to $100 for 10 signs? Is by leaving no number in there, you could buy as many signs as you want for $100.
Well, for metal
one
signs,
really
I
nice
don't know.
Well, that's okay.
For up
Hang it
to
above
10
Jeff's door.
$100 for up to 10 signs
The urinal.
for our properties.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
I should have voted.
You're an aye? Okay. All right, so 7-0-0. And we skipped warrant articles as well. Steve, you wanna cover that?
So basically, it was a little confusing on how they were written. We'd like to clear it
Yeah.
up, clean it up a little bit. If you want to replenish the up to $25,000, call out that exact amount to bring it back up to 25,000. We don't know what that is just yet because
No, now we do.
Zero.
25,000.
Because now we're at zero after tonight.
that's true.
The Board of Selectmen has to approve it
Right.
first.
Yeah.
Okay, so that'll actually make the warrant article, so you're gonna try to replenish all 25,000?
All 25,000 and then increase.
Well, as long as
it.
you guys approve us using the last 10,
Yeah.
that will make it easy.
Because the way it was written was 25, and then there was some number, and then there was another one saying, and then add 5,000 to make it 30, and I think that would just confuse people.
Yeah, but I think that can get cleaned up when we get back to the DRA, right? Once we know what we expended and all that. I
Yeah.
think it's easy from that standpoint.
But we gotta get the warrant articles in soon.
Steve, can you tell me the name of that again? That warrant article? Or that that fund? that-
Go ahead.
Recreational Expendable Trust
Fund,
Fund, but it was for repair and maintenance.
repair and maintenance, yeah.
So I think it was Recreational Commission Repair and Maintenance Fund,
Expendable trust.
Expendable Trust Fund, or something like that was how it was called.
Expendable trust fund, okay.
So we need to decide, do we want to bring forth another one to increase it?
So we wanna have it, commission's vote after drafting the final list for selectmen's to vote on December 9th.
Correct, so we need to do it tonight so they can do it the next meeting. So if we want to have, so we want, my opinion would be, we'd want one fund to replenish.
Yep.
And then we want a second warrant article to bring that $25,000 up to 35, 50, 100, whatever we think the number should be
You'd
for
have
it.
to, right?
We'd have to, so
'Cause you can't-
there's two different ones, so you
Yeah.
want to replenish one,
And then increase that
and then
one,
increase another one.
Add an extra 5.
but you can't do it in one warrant.
Cannot do it in one warrant, there's two
Why
separate
don't we
warrant
just
articles.
not replenish the other one, just do a new one? That way we don't
Because
have two.
if they vote down the other one, we lose the first one.
Yeah, but we have $0 in it anyway, so what does it matter?
It's like two bites at the apple.
We want at least 25.
Well,
and
it
then we
is,
can
so if
ask
you
for an
say you
extra
want
5.
25, right? And then the other would say if you want that fund now to be $50,000,
But as a
We'd get to-
voter,
Looks
in
better
like,
that we spent the 25 and now we know why we need this.
And then we,
this
so,
month, we need
there's
to
two
plan
different things we can speak to. One, we can speak to on why we need it replenished. Then we can speak to on why we need it to be a higher dollar value.
Right.
If you think of the amount of systems we have and everything, I mean, we've already proven that in 1 year, we needed $25,000 to fix stuff that's just been breaking over the years, right? We haven't even really addressed systems that,
Fixed everything.
We haven't
really
even
need to
touched
go and
the
address,
slides
right? This
because
is
their
just stuff that came
slides are a
upon us
ridiculous
this
amount of
year.
money.
All right.
Yeah, so I mean, that's a good approach. I mean, like,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
barely
We
doing
have
maintenance,
needs stuff.
you know?
Yeah, I mean-
It's just doing things online.
Yeah.
Like, Playground's still an issue of talent, like,
Yeah.
any day, right? Like,
Yeah.
anything can break there. In the fields.
we already did one
so
well
much of
system,
them.
right? Now we have to address Sawmill. I mean, all the well systems are aging also, right?
No, I know.
With the amount of rust in town. So, I mean, I think there's a good reason why we want to go and do what we need to go do.
Can I ask a question? If the first one fails to replenish, does that mean the second one fails too, or can that pass based
No,
on
the
how
second one
people
could
vote?
pass the $50,000, moving it to $50,000.
Okay.
Now you raised and
Oh, okay,
appropriated
so you're
$50,000.
raising it, you're not saying an additional 5,000 or additional
Well, it depends on
25,000.
how
you're
it gets
giving
worded, right? And we're gonna have to
Right.
work with legal counsel on how to word that one, right?
Yeah, okay.
In order to go do
I
it.
just would hate to see a situation where the
We're just gonna-
replenishing
we're-
fails, but then 5,000 or 10,000.
So I think that's where we have to
Yeah.
work with the verbiage with legal counsel on how to do it and go back to the DRA and, did we structure it correctly?
Yeah.
Because we find out a lot at the last minute, the DRA wants things changed to a certain way. But I think that's how we have to go
Yeah,
do
I
it.
would agree. Replenishing 25,000 and then adding 25,000 to make it 50,000.
Because last year, the selectmen wanted it to be like 100 and change.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how much they
Yeah,
had
they
faith
said it was
behind
far
it.
too
But we were,
low.
we as a commission said, that's a
small.
big hunk to be asking for, right? Let's rather take little 25,000 than replenish it. But
Make
I
sure
mean,
we
there
use it.
was 4 out of 5. I mean, there was a good hunk that said
Yeah,
100
that's it.
grand.
Yeah,
When
last
is the,
year.
It's way too
when is the
little.
language due for the?
Well, they have to vote on the 9th, but then the language can get tweaked after the fact. So the 9th, you guys will bring it to the budget committee right after that.
Yep.
For their approval, right? But then there's still the whole part, when you finally submit them, the DRA looks at them, and they could come back at the last hour and say, you have to change the verbiage to read this, to
Right.
make it legally intent.
Or they can say, no, you can't do it that way, you can't, replenish and then add, or you can't.
Because that got us on the highway last year. The highway had to get rewritten in the way the warrant article was approached. It didn't change anything, but they had to reword it.
So Kim has to have it for us by next Friday, next,
This Friday.
the 9th. And then budget, and then we could send it to, at the same time, she'll send it out to legal
Yeah.
to make sure that it's.
So what is the budget's gotta vote on it, right? You
I
bring it in
mean,
front of them, they vote
If
on
it,
it.
if it gotta be ready for that Monday, doesn't it have to be ready for the 13th, so it's ready for the agenda? Oh, not the 9th, the 13th.
Well, I think tonight we can just say
6th.
what we want it to go be.
Yeah.
We
Right?
don't meet on the 6th. We have to do it tonight,
We have to do it tonight.
No, I know we have to do it tonight.
right? Because we meet on the 10th.
which is
Board of
after-
Selectmen is the 9th.
I mean, what value do we want to bring it to? Do you want to do another 25, bring it
I
to
think
50, or?
yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think if you go out and you say, we want to bounce it up to 100, people are going to be like, nope,
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah.
Too much money. But we know, and this is something we discussed in the meet, we don't know what shape the roof's in. Everybody says, oh, it's fine. Nobody really knows.
No, right?
I mean, we're investigating the floor right now, right?
Right.
So-
There was a guy that fixed the trim, it might have been iRoof, he said it looks good, but he didn't go on and give us an official, you need some patching or it's gonna last another 10 years. Nobody knows how.
I wonder what the septic looks like.
Septic's another thing. I mean, we've already gone through two well systems now, right? We still have other fields we gotta go look at. I mean, I don't think Schaefer Field's been looked at for years.
And I think with talent, with the, going from 25 to 50, spending the money this year, realizing that we were able to spend it so quickly, it'd make it easier to justify going to 50.
I agree.
Yeah, and having to pick and choose necessary repairs is just
Yep.
gonna lead to more problems.
So do we need
Do we need to
two
vote on that?
We
motions
need two,
Yes.
for
we need two
here?
motions.
So I'll make a motion to replenish the fund up to 25,000.
Second?
All those in
Do
favor?
we have to put in there, oh,
Sorry.
do we have to state that it's a warrant article in the
The motion?
Well, to replenish
motion?
the
Yeah.
recreation
The-
field and
The
maintenance.
Recreational Expendable Trust Fund for repairs and maintenance.
So a warrant article to replenish the recreational expendable trust fund up to 25,000, balance of $25,000.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Abstain.
601. And then we'll take a second motion.
Yep, so then there'll be a second
To increase
motion,
that an
warrant
additional
article increase.
Second moting, all the same words, but increase to 50,000.
Increase an additional 25 for a total of 50.
Yeah, increase, yeah. An additional 25,000 up to $50,000.
Do I have a
Second? Yep.
Conversation? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? 601.
So who actually writes the warrant article?
Kimmel.
Oh, okay.
Kimmel Legal.
So we don't have to have something
No, no,
They'll
written
work
to
with legal to do
go
it
for
for
you.
us.
Okay.
Kim will draft it up and then legal will fine tune it. At this point, Kim's pretty good about writing them.
Yep.
All right, so another reimbursement, back down to the reimbursements. Judy is looking for $9.98 for supplies.
Toilet paper.
Hall.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
$9.90.
Little discussion, why are you buying toilet paper for Talent Hall? Why isn't it being supplied by town?
We usually pick up, have some extra rolls in case we run out. It's no longer stored in Talent. So
Speak
So
with,
we have extra rolls. The last 3 years, I've had to call someone to bring toilet paper. You, I think, a couple times.
Yep.
Let's
So
speak with,
I,
Junior about that.
So-
Mention it to Kim and Junior about making sure it's supplied. We shouldn't be buying toilet paper.
I'll keep it if you don't want to reimburse me for
No, no,
toilet
no,
paper. I'll keep
that's
it.
not the
No,
point.
I just
I'm
don't want to
saying-
have to go make
Yeah,
phone
it's not
calls
the
again
point.
when
The
they're,
point
yeah,
is-
I know.
Talent
Yeah.
Hall, it's the town's responsibility, and if it's a process is broken, we'll just get it.
If they're not,
So,
It should be there already.
good point, but there's been a couple acute situations where Judy like bails us out.
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
Absolutely. So,
And this was specifically for the reunion that was in there, right? We bought it for extras for that?
No, for Spirit of Litchfield event coming up.
Yeah.
Because it's high numbers attended, so.
When there's none stored there, it's good to have some there.
Struggle.
it is indeed, yeah.
But the,
I
but the
just-
thing is like, again, it goes back to the point, like, there's gonna be a big event, we need extra down there.
Yeah.
Please,
Yeah.
please leave extra down there.
So,
I'll talk to Kim to find out. If it's stored here, we should be able to.
Either that, Judy showing up with her scepter and a few rolls on it.
hey, I had to have my brother-in-law mop up a flood in the men's room one year during the event, so.
But if it's stored here, instead of going to the store, you should be able to come here.
I don't even know where it is, to be honest
I'll
with you.
figure it out. We'll talk to,
So-
All right, do I have a motion to approve? We already did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
okay.
All right, all those in favor? Opposed, abstained? Passes.
Oh, do I have to abstain?
You can vote.
It's up to you. All right, 700. And next we have Jefftown is looking for some money for outdoor.
I didn't know the amount. I put it on there knowing he was gonna ask for the reimbursement.
They're
that he
really
got, but
nice
I didn't know
outdoor
the
cover,
amount.
really cover, so.
But I didn't know what your amount was.
2112.
All right, I'll make a
$21.12.
motion to approve.
Yep.
$21.12 to reimburse Jefftown for outdoor outlet coverage.
Surprised you didn't ask for the receipt.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Jeff,
Thanks for
thank you
taking
for
care of
doing
that,
that.
Jeff.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstained, 700.
I did get those installed.
Thank you.
Alright, so we already talked about the $800 for Spirit of Litchfield,
Yeah.
so that's all set. So upcoming events, the Tour of Lights,
We have,
January 1st.
16 or 17 registered homes already.
Wow.
I think last year we had a total of 22, and since I just did it Sunday night, I think we'll have even more.
Yeah, it's still early for lights to be going up.
Yeah.
We've got emails.
No, it's not.
Friday they'll be a lot
I'd
of
say
lights
more
up.
will come up after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
There'll be a lot more lights.
As long as they anticipate, they know if they're gonna light there.
Yeah.
I waited until after Halloween, but.
Next, we've got emails. November is Mike, December is Steve Weber, January myself. Justin, we'll have to add you to the rotation.
I think Andy did the schedule.
I can walk.
Swap them out with me, because I have too much other things.
Give
to
him
do.
a few months to
I heard
get
he was taking
adjusted to the ride.
And our next meeting is December 10th, followed by January 14th and January 18th.
28th.
28th, sorry. It's January 28th.
One more question, porta potties?
Yeah.
That whole discussion that went on, we aren't allowed to, are we allowed to even negotiate porta potties? Are we allowed, like, it was voted out of the budget, so,
So we actually discussed this the other night.
I missed
Way,
that. Or you missed,
it's probably gonna drive the budget committee crazy, but we actually have to fund it, because you can't say we're gonna have porta potties without having funds in it.
That's what I didn't understand.
So what's gonna happen is it's gonna come out of the budget somehow, and then the rec orgs are gonna have to pay into that to cover the
And
difference.
So what happens if the rec orgs decide not to do it, or to padlock them?
Then,
This is
so-
like a huge thing for me, and I've been
Yeah.
trying to.
Well, I've been
So
trying
it's
to-
coming out of the rec budget.
is it coming out of the rec
Somehow,
budget? I mean, I thought it was
Wait a minute, if
taken
it's
out
in
of
the
the
rec
rec
budget-
budget.
I think we left
How can
like,
it be in the budget if they think someone is going to fund the budget? It's gotta be raised and appropriated, or not raised and appropriated.
We're expecting the leagues are gonna donate
Yes.
to the rec committee.
They're expecting, but
What
it's,
happens if
not
they
in the
say
but
no?
here's the thing,
Yeah,
it
you
still
figure
has
where
to
to
be
pull it from the
raised and
budget.
appropriated, so it still has to be part of the
Yeah.
budget. So I don't know how that's gonna work for the budget committee.
I don't know, this is something we discussed last night, that, you know, you have to pull it from a line item, and that line item has to have enough money to cover it.
Correct, so therefore it has to be part of the tax, so it has to be raised and appropriated.
Or it's gonna, well, bottom line budgets, so it'll come out of the rec budget somehow.
100%,
That's-
so once again,
Yeah,
by,
that's-
by saying you're gonna pull it out of the budget, you're not helping with the tax. I
So-
just, I
so
don't
the-
get
the-
how
the
it's
legal-
working for
the-
them.
The legal part of it is because this is, the town's contract, the town has to pay for it.
But-
So you cannot lock them, you cannot,
Okay,
you cannot own them.
So,
unless
how
you
does it
work-
help them with the tax cap
I
by
don't-
not raising and
That- Is it-
appropriating the money?
I don't know.
I guess the real question, like, I didn't think we contracted the next one yet.
We did.
we did,
We have already
Yeah.
contracted.
yeah.
Okay.
And it's a town
It is
contract.
cheaper.
But how do we have recreational fields where we're not gonna give sanitary facilities to our residents?
I completely agree.
I just don't get it. I mean,
No,
See, the problem is previous standards were that we didn't before, right? Like, we changed the policy.
oh, for years,
5 or
baseball
6
paid
years
for
ago.
their own.
Oh, correct.
For years they did.
For years, the soccer paid, put them on, paid for their own, put them on there.
And we paid
were
for our
doing
own
it-
trash removal in baseball for
Yeah,
a long time.
we were
I'm
doing
sure
it GMS.
Schaefer, we paid for
We
it.
don't have them, or the sports teams say, nope, we're not getting them. Who's gonna be cleaning up the toilet paper or just literal crap
In the
in
woods.
the woods?
Yeah. I
Right?
mean,
I already do enough cleaning up
little
the
Johnny and
trash
little
cans
Sally
there.
are on the
I'm not
playground at
cleaning
Danner
up
and have
after
to go to the
people go to the
bathroom. I
bathroom
mean,
in the
it's-
woods.
You've gotta give bathrooms, I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, there's other ways of cutting the budget than going after,
that was an easy target, I agree.
it's just, there's other
That was
ways to
an
go
easy
after the
target?
budget.
Well, that line, if you were watching, that line item almost got zeroed, which would mean it didn't exist anymore. And Kim did say.
They don't have the
you need to
authority
leave
to
some-
zero it out.
No, they can bring
So-
it to $1.
They-
But
bring it
no,
to
I
$2.
think there's 1,000 or 1,500 because I believe we should pay for the playground porta potty.
Yeah,
we're-
The
We're
sports
still
league should
covering
not
them.
pay for,
I think as a town, we should pay for every facility. I mean,
Yeah.
if you go and look at Justin Bissett, there's a playground there.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Our residents are gonna go there and play in the playground. You go and look at Sawmill, we have pickleball courts and we have tennis courts. Our residents are gonna go there. You look at Dara, we have a playground there, we have a basketball court there. So I mean, if you wanna
even
go
the
after
beach.
baseball, you wanna go after, softball, you wanna go after soccer, I mean,
But they shouldn't pay
they're
for
multi-use facilities.
general community use.
Exactly.
And I just don't know how they go after that.
They're somehow gonna have to divide it up, and I don't know how, I don't think it's gonna be each league with their own porta potty, but we. Like, there's-
So, I mean, the multi-use fields is where it gets tough. I mean,
Yeah,
who's to say all
right.
of them want to have that facility for their people?
What happens if baseball dissolves?
100%.
And then you just have a field with a playground.
But how, and how can we fund one at one playground and not another?
And so I just think
hear what
it's,
Peter
I
had
think
to
it's
say.
very short-sighted to be going after that line item when it's something, it's a basic human need
Yeah.
that people need.
So on
You know what I
that,
mean? There's other things you can go after.
right, so it's sanitation. which
100%
I think is a
sanitation.
Basic government service.
It's like going after the dumpsters, which are tied into solid waste, right? You need to get rid of trash. It's sanitation, like you said, Peter.
So I think to resolve this, right, there's deliberative, and that's our
That's what I was
opportunity
gonna
to
ask.
put it
Correct.
back in.
Deliberative
So I
session.
think that is the play for us to go argue, like,
It is.
why I should have porta potty. I mean, so I think it's a good argument to make. If it fails, it's still a bottom line budget, and that line is still there, and I think we, manage it, because there's a lot of things that would cut before that, in our budget. So I think deliberative in February, right, that's our chance to argue to the town, which I think they'll be receptive to, for all these reasons, right?
Correct.
It's, there's a lot of things that we can work with and that are unfortunate, we can cut. Sanitation is not one of them.
No.
It's
I
not.
mean,
It's,
we've gone years without repairing facilities, taking things out of our budget to make things work, but I have an issue when you go after sanitation.
What's the
Agreed.
total cost for the porta potties at all the rec parks?
$7,000, $7,500 last year. That's why I think it's not the line item to go and attack.
It's a small one. And then.
I'm just
going back-
thinking what number to bring up at deliberative session, that's
I
all.
can get you an exact number. And then the
Round up.
contract, Mike, Kim did an
Well, we know
amazing
with
job
our
with the
contract,
contract.
it's gonna be
Reduced tipping fees, reduced cleaning fees, everything.
Right.
No,
Got a better
no
rate.
charge to have one dropped off. She did a great job. And that's why it's gotta fall under the town, cause then if there's issues, you let Kim know and she calls out and she has it taken care of.
Right.
The other option is going back to, like you said, soccer rents it, and then if it's soccer has the right to lock it up. If it's a town,
Yeah.
soccer cannot lock it up.
Right.
Baseball
Correct.
cannot lock it
And
up.
that, and that's
Whether
the
or
whole
not they're
thing.
paying or not.
So, I just don't know
contributing.
I just don't know how the budget committee is taking it out under the tax cap if it still has to be an item. So,
Yeah.
it might not even be a line they can attack anymore. I just don't know the legalities
I
about it, but just to go after that line, to me, was not right.
I also agree that that would be an easy one at deliberative to put
Yeah.
right back in, that
I agree.
anybody who has a kid or.
Yeah.
uses any of the
All you
parks.
need is a few sports
I'm
players.
still gonna go that fact, though, that we do start charging
Yes,
some use fee for,
Yep. you have to
right,
offset it,
Yeah.
offset the cost.
but like,
Well, but-
we've
but-
done work in that space, right? Like, we're charging for the fields, and everybody has a event, right? We are asking them to bring in.
not even just an event, like if you use a field, then you have to contribute something.
Well, I'm against that. I mean, look at how much money baseball and softball have put into the fields. I mean,
Agreed.
we take care of the
That's agreed.
infield, we take
Yeah.
care of everything else. I mean, the amount of money we're putting in, it's not like we're just taking from the rec commission. We're giving back and we're making the field better.
I agree, I understand all that, but then you get into, it's a two-sided point, okay, so all that's taken out, baseball doesn't have to do that anymore. Now you could have the town do it, well, if the town does it, now they're gonna charge you a usage fee, that's gonna end up probably being more than what you're putting back into it, and it's just this big cycle, like, you gotta kinda balance, like,
Well, I think it is
we get
balanced.
away without, we have stayed on this model for years, right? The model of, hey, town, leagues get to use it, whatever, but they aren't town leagues, right? Technically, they're all their own leagues, right? They're in town, but they're all their own leagues. So, again, there are many models we can follow. So, asking to get a little bit more back from them for the porta potties shouldn't be this big to do, especially since we're sitting here trying to figure out how the heck we're paying for a new slide or something like that, right?
But I mean, I think if you go back and you look at it, take it from baseball and from softball, Chris, what was it, $10,000 in infield mix this year?
And
Right.
baseball over 2 years has put in 20,000.
$20,000.
So they decide,
Then
well,
let's say,
we're not
all right,
gonna
I'm gonna
take,
put it
do
on.
the,
I'm gonna put it on the town now. I need my fields
Right, that's what I
dragged
was
and
gonna say.
lined to be ready
And-
to go. I need the soccer fields painted and ready to go. That burden that you're putting back in is going to be so much more than the cost of a porta potty. I think we've all been great stewards of the field back and forth, what the town gives us and what we give the town, that I don't think we should be sitting here having a discussion over sanitation. I mean, it's sanitation, is really what it comes down. We're looking at $7,500. I mean, really, you think of the amount of lime we put down the line fields, the amount of paint the
well,
soccer
I think
uses.
too,
no,
there
I
are
agree.
leagues in town that give a lot more than others. It's like soccer
Exactly.
may do their own lines, but their fields are maintained 100% for them.
That's costing
Baseball and
$100,000.
Baseball and softball are always taking care of the infield
Correct.
on their own. That's a huge expense that rec doesn't have to take, because, I mean, I think you can't say, oh, we're gonna cover everything for the field for soccer and lacrosse, but not for baseball and softball. And then I look at the amount of money pickleball throws in, so
Correct. I
there's a
mean-
very big imbalance in what.
I would like
I
to make
think
a
all the-
motion to adjourn.
But I think everyone, what I'm just trying to say is, I think all the leagues give back as much as the town gives them.
We got a motion and a second.
Well, if we
I mean,
put it,
we're beating a dead
bring it
horse.
up at the deliberative session, I think it's gonna be pretty easy to add back in.
But I still want to learn, I'm gonna
Yeah.
call Kim and find out how it's gonna be in the budget, but not in the budget.
That's, we kind of stumbled
That's-
upon that last night.
That's,
Yeah.
I have a motion, I have a second to adjourn. All those in favor?
No discussion?
Opposed? Abstained? All right, we are adjourned. Thank you very much. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Justin,
See you at the next
welcome to
one.
the bus
Happy
ride.
Thanksgiving.
And it's free. You don't have to pay.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I mentioned that
You know what, I want to just ask a quick question. With the cameras, there's going to be wiring done upstairs somewhere at Talent Hall.
Say that again, sorry.
With the new camera, there's going to be wiring